Okay, we're continuing with speaking about Parshat Balak. So much fun. And one thing that I remember every time I come to Parshat Balak is my teacher to Bible from 6th grade. He has a thing, every time we would give you an answer with 4 words. I don't know why I remember that, but every time like he want to have something special, he would give you an answer with 4 words. As example, my name is Aaron Cooperman Me'alon Shvut, like first name, last name, and the name of the place he lived at. And I remember one of the things he used to say to us every time someone was interrupted in the class or something, he used to say, Bamidbar Kafbet Pasuk Kafchet. Bamidbar, chapter 22, verse 28. And if you open the Bible, you will see, the Chumash, you will see that it starts with the words, Vaiftach Hashem et piaton. Meaning, and God opened the she-donkey. For some reason, that's the name of Aton in English. I learned it only now, but there is no like woman version for donkey. In Hebrew, you have one, that's Aton. Anyway, Vaiftach Hashem et piaton. Hinting that, you're like the donkey that starts speaking right now, you're interrupting my class. So I remember that, I got that verse sometimes as a student. What we can learn from that donkey? So just the frame, because I think when we heard about Parshat Balak, the majority that we know is like, Bilaam wanted to curse Am Israel. He couldn't, he blessed them, end of story. But in the beginning, if you remember, Balak sending like people to convince Bilaam to come and do whatever he wants to do to curse Bnei Israel. And he says, I won't gonna do it, trying to avoid the mission. Go away. Balak sending them again, and he said, you know what, I'll think about that, I'll ask Hashem, and Hashem tells us, you know what, you can go. The second time he's asking, now he says you can go, and then he's taking his aton, his she-donkey. Forgive me, I'm going to use the word aton, I mean she-donkey, okay? It's just doesn't make sense to me that there's no word in English. So he takes that aton, and they start walking, and the aton sees that angel. Some of the commentaries says she couldn't really see the angel. It's a debate, according to the commentators, whether she really saw the angel or not. Anyway, she feels something is wrong, so she going off the way to the field, starts walking in the field. By the way, a lot of similarity between Bilaam, that in the beginning just tried to avoid the problem, but eventually he didn't have a lot of choice, so he just walked and do what Hashem told him. And eventually, even if the Aton sees that angel and couldn't go. Now, I tried to learn a little bit about the Aton. I saw so many explanations, but nothing really sets me like, okay, what's the real deal here? And I'm going to suggest something I didn't say anywhere, just my thoughts. It doesn't mean true, but I read about that, and I think about Bilaam that suddenly really surprised. That's really surprising that Aton starts speaking and says, you know what, there's someone scary. He doesn't really understand what's going on here. But for us that reading the story, for us it's clear. Like, you need to stop do that, or you need to follow what Hashem tells you. I mean, for us it's clear, but for him, he couldn't tell what's the story here. It's very weird. So I think every time I read that, I just think about my teacher for 6th grade. He used to say, it's kind of a joke, Vaiftach Hashem et piaton, but he's hinting us, now you're doing something a little bit bad, try to go back to the right way. I think a lot of time when we do bad stuff, we have some surprises, some things that hinting us, you're not in the right direction. Sometimes we're smart, we see that, we're smart enough to understand, okay, maybe I shouldn't go that way, maybe I shouldn't change my ways. But sometimes we're ignoring until eventually, or we just do the bad thing, or we need Hashem to open the mouth of some animal, obviously not actually animal, to help us avoid that bad thing that we do. So what I personally take from the story of the Aton is try to read the signs that the universe gives you. And sometimes try to understand if something doesn't go in the way you want it to go, maybe it's because you need to try something else and not to be just, with the head in the wall. This is what I say in Hebrew, Rosh Bakir. Don't go directly into the wall with not understanding what do you do. So that's what I'm taking for that. We're going to say